What's going on, everyone? This is Eric, and welcome to another season of Crown Basketball and the analytics videos that I'm going to be doing for you guys. Just a little bit of a background before we get started on where this all started. I have quite the background in many different numbers-oriented fields. You feel free to Google me if you want to have some fun. Um, but when I started coaching basketball, it seems like a long time ago, I really took the analytics approach to how to teach this game. The NBA figured out like 10 to 15 years ago the correct way to play basketball, and slowly but surely that trickled down to lower level pro teams and then D1 teams in college, and even still D2 and D3 teams are not playing basketball correctly, and high schools are completely hopeless at this point. So what I decided is, even though my sons and his teams were, seventh grade, I decided to start teaching this type of thing really, really early. So when I stopped coaching, I decided that I was going to start to impart my knowledge to other coaches. And I thought the best place to start was with Chris, because Chris was so helpful to me as our skills trainer, that this would be my way of kind of giving back. I don't have too much time to actually come to the practices and to the games, as you'll find out, but I do have time to do this type of thing, which is very enjoyable to me. So the original uh, concept was that I would be teaching coaches how to teach the players. And what ended up happening was the kids and the parents really started to warm up to this stuff. So I decided to make these videos for both the players and the parents, as well as the coaches. It's going to be primarily geared towards the coaches, but I think you guys will enjoy this. Now, again, I use Huddle to compile the statistics, and Huddle is very, very useful to make clips and make videos for recruiting and things like that. So while I'm not particularly interested in that part of it, it's an incredible tool which we will help you guys figure out how to utilize. Um, Again, the reason I'm doing this is strictly for the basketball part. The recruiting thing is in Chris's hands, and that is of very little interest to me for a lot of reasons. So, a couple of things. What's going to happen is at the end, hopefully, of each tournament, I mean, all the games will get uploaded, all the statistics will be published by Huddle, and then I'm going to look at it and I'm going to make some recommendations and do a video where I summarize my findings. I'm going to talk about the statistics that we're going to be looking at from a team perspective and from an individual player perspective. Now, again, there's the statistics are only as good as Huddle's ability to compile them and break them down. So in a situation like this past week where there were no numbers on the jerseys, that's a train wreck. I mean, you guys can't do that. What ended up having to happen was I had to go in manually, and this is literally the last time I'm going to do this, and manually attempt to say who did what. And that's a complete waste of my time, a complete waste of everybody's time. So if this week's statistics are off, it's because I just didn't have the time to painstakingly go and identify every possession. I thought I did an okay job with it, but again, that's just not, that's below my pay grade. Let's put it that way. So make sure you have your uniform set. Make sure that everybody's wearing a different number, and it'll make everybody's life a lot easier. Okay. So let's get started. Now, what you'll find throughout the course of the season is I am not the slightest bit interested in the wins and the losses. I'm only interested in the numbers, because the numbers are what is going to translate to future games. For example, I want to go over the three main statistics we're going to talk about as teams. And these are: one, effective field goal percentage; two is turnover rate; and three is offensive rebound percentage. Now, effective field goal percentage is not what you think. It's not just your regular field goal percentage. It's not what percent baskets you make as a percentage what you take. Because, as you know, 3-point baskets are worth more than two, so those get credit for 1.5 times the amount. So, for example, let's just say that you only shot 3-point shots, and you shot 50% of those in. Your effective field goal percentage would not be 50, it would be 75. because you would multiply 1.5 times the 50. And likewise, let's say your effective field goal percentage, excuse me, you only took threes and your field goal percentage is you made about a third of them. So your effective field goal percentage in that situation would be 50% because 33 times 1.5 is 50. Effective field goal percentage, what you're going to be looking for on a game-to-game basis and for the team for the season is you need to get an effective field goal percentage of 50%. And what that means is that I have studied the performance of hundreds of games of kids your age. And what I've determined is that for you to win the types of tournaments that Chris is going to have you play, that's the effective field goal percentage that you are going to need. Now, again, there's a little room for error, but that's what I have found. So that's what your goal is going to be in every game and for the season. TO turnover rate, what we're looking for a turnover rate is a turnover rate of less than 15%. If it's less than 10, obviously that's really, really good. But somewhere between the band of 11 and 15 is going to be okay. Offensive rebound percentage, that means every time you miss a shot, how often can you kind of scratch for an offensive rebound? What we're looking for there is 30%. So those are your three main statistics to look for as a team. And when we go through each game, I'm going to highlight these three numbers. And then we're going to get into is the shot chart, which is very, very important because that indicates what types of shots you're taking. And we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the various ways that you can improve your effective field goal percentage based on shot selection. And then we're going to go over some individual stuff for your individual statistics and things like that. And along the way, we're going to go over little tricks that you could use with Huddle as well. Okay. So first game we're going to go over is this. You play the defenders twice, but this one is Crown v. Queen's defender Kyle. And I think this is the game where would you guys win? You won 60. I mean, I think you stopped keeping track of the let's just see real quick. What color were you in this? You can click through this. Is this when you were in the blue? This is when you're in gray. Now, this is in the gray, so let's not look at that one first. First one we're going to look at. This is the first game. This is what I was there for when you guys were wearing blue. Okay, so here your effective field goal percentage was 53.8%, which is good. This is exactly what you need. I've literally no problem with this. Now, again, you beat the team by 80. Okay, so whatever. But again, what's good about this is this effective field goal percentage is going to travel. In other words, if you could shoot like this, you could beat like the teams that you need to beat. So there are good blowout wins and bad blowout wins, and this is a good one. And we're going to compare that to the other one in a minute. Turnover rate, 13.5%. You're within that realm of 15% or less. Now, I prefer it even to be lower against a bad team like this, but 13.5% will accept. And you got just all the rebounds. So 53.3 offensive rebound percentage is extraordinarily good. So the next thing we look at for every game is the shot chart. Okay. And that's what we're looking for in a shot chart is this. We want you to be taking only open threes and layups. Okay. And this is something that we're going to talk about forever. Okay. Every shot that is not a layup or an open three, I consider a bad two. And bad two in my world is death. Okay. This is the worst shot conceptually you can take in basketball. And the reason why is quite simply, I mean, you don't make them often enough. In other words, you're looking for a 50% effective field goal percentage. All these shots are worth two. And over the course of the season, you guys shoot about 38% from here. So why would you take them? Okay, the answer is zero. A zero reason. And it's something you really have to get out of your heads. Now, from the first couple of games that I saw from you guys, you're doing a really good job. Okay. I really want to challenge you guys to give me multiple perfect shot charts during the season. That means having no shots that are these bad twos. Now, I will tell you that Huddle does just kind of an okay job at characterizing these. So from a player and from a coach's perspective, you should probably click through here and see how many of these are actually bad twos and how many are just maybe your foot just behind the line. They didn't get credit for a three or whatever. But what's cool about it is you could actually click through these and see. So let's take a look. You click through and it'll show you these three quote unquote bad twos, and we'll take a look at them. So here, I mean, I think it just considered this a bad two because it didn't know that you were behind the actual AAU 3-point line. Like, let's see this one. This one's not bad because you're almost at the rim. And let's see this third one. And this third one, again, they just consider that a shot for some reason instead of a pass. So again, you have to kind of look through these to make sure that they're actually bad twos before you start getting mad at them. Here's another one from the side. Let's see this again. Like this one, I don't know why they consider that a bad two from over there. Let's see this one. Yeah, so Huddle's got to do a little better job with that. Let's look at these two in the lane. See this? Okay, that's no good. So that's a good example. So this is actually one that you really don't want to be taking, Dylan. Let's see this one. That's really not that great either, Elliot. You're almost at the rim, but again, it's still in that what I consider a bad two, especially being contested. Okay. Let's take a look at the individuals from this game. Let's see, stats. And then this is not QDK. This is going to be just QD. And again, these are not guaranteed because again, I did all this manually, but, forgive me if some of these are wrong, but let's just take a look at these. We're going to look at these every single game. Let's see how we did from three, first of all. So Miles, 4 for 5 from three, very good. Michael, 1 for 4. Brady, 2 for 4. Elliott, 1 for 4. So everybody seemed to be pretty efficient from here. Jaden, one for 2. And again, these could be other people. So what if you want to, again, as player or as coach, whatever, you want to click through here. Let's say, okay, let's take a look at all of Michael Brown's misses. Okay. You can click through here, Michael, for example, and first of all, we can confirm if these are actually yours. Let's see. Thought I did a decent job with this. Yep, there you go. So you can see, like, if they were good threes or bad threes. Were they contested? That's a great pass, Dylan. Or were they wide open? And that one was good, right? Wide open three, amazing, it went in. Nice pass over there, Miles. It's a good open three, no good. But you see what's cool about this is you can click through here and kind of see which of these are good threes and which of these threes are bad threes. So overall, I mean, again, like really, really no complaints. We'll take a look at the turnovers here. No real great turnovers to speak of. I see 3 turnovers from Elliott. Once again, you can click on those and take a look at them. So there's really nobody's case that I want to get on from this game. So we will just move on to the next one. Very, very good. Overall, very, very good performance. Very efficient across the board. All right, let's take a look at the other Queens Defender game. This one I wasn't here for. I think I had left. No, or maybe I did see this one. Yeah, I think I did actually. So this one against Queen Defender Kyle. Let's see. As a team, overall. So this one is a problem. All right. So you look at the effective field goal percentage, and it was 48.4%. Okay. So that's no good. This is not going to work in the types of tournaments that we want you guys to win. And again, we have very lofty goals for this team. You know, I'm expecting not just wins, I'm expecting titles from you guys. I mean, honestly. So for you to get there, you're going to need to have this above 50%. So what we could do is we'll go through and see what about this was no good. Was it just bad shot selection or was it just bad shooting? Bad shooting is kind of tough to fix right off the bat. You just have to train and get better. But bad shot selection we can work on. Now your turnover rate was exceptional, like below 10%. And your offensive rebound percentage was exceptional, 55%. So that made up for, to some degree, the effective field goal percentage. But overall, this type of performance is not going to travel well enough to win the big tournaments. So let's take a look at the shot chart for that and see what this looks like. So here you have 2, 3, 4, Six bad twos. Now again, it's only 10% of the total amount, which is kind of my threshold, so that's not bad. But again, I mean, I think you guys we could try to kind of clean it up, and not even have any from in here. I think I want to be really greedy with this team. So let's take a look at these. Let's see if these are actually bad twos or not. Yeah, so this one I don't really like, Jaden. This is I consider really bad too. Let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at this one. And that one, oh well, they gave that one unfortunately credit for a pass instead of a shot. So again, don't blame me. I mean, you want to go manually change that, you can. I'm just not in the mood. So let's see this one. This one, yeah. So Brady, I mean, coach's son, you can't shoot that, right? This is like the ultimate in bad too. Like right from here, you're only going to make that about 40% of the time, and it's only worth 2 points. So all these I am going to get on your cases about. All right, let's take a look at the individuals in this game. Well, we'll take a look at the individuals in this game because we had a couple of bad twos, but there were also bad shots, right? So let's just take a look. I mean, bad shooting. So let's take a look and see where this came from. Why our shot selection wasn't terrible, but we just didn't make a lot. So let's see what we had here. So from three, it looks like there was struggles. So we had Jaden 1 for 4, Miles 1 for 6. I mean, pretty much everybody was pretty bad from three this game. So again, we could click through and see what type of shots these were. So Miles, I will see you missed six, you had 6 shots taken. Let's take a look at these and see if these are good shots. See, this one's a great three. I'll take that all day long. And I'm sure coaches will as well. Take a look. See this one. Swing that. Okay, that's okay. I don't think you were particularly well contested. I think that's perfectly reasonable. This one I'll have you take all day long. Turns out it just didn't go in. But again, I've seen enough of you shooting where I know you're going to make those enough of the time. I mean, that I'm going to just have you take. You know what I mean? Good form, good stroke, perfectly fine. And that one went in. So, again, I'm not the coach. So this is just, you know what I mean? So whatever the coaches tell you are good shots are, you know what I mean, are ones you should be taking. I'm just saying analytically, to me, all those are going to be perfectly good shots. So this was a game where nothing was really wrong with the shot selection. It was just the shooting was just no good. And that's why your effective field goal percentage is only, 48%. Take a look at some of the turnovers here. So I see Dylan had 3 turnovers, but again, I do not trust these stats with the no numbers, especially the turnovers. Because again, I didn't even go through and manually deal with those. So yeah. Okay, now let me give you some individual goals that you guys can strive for to help the team reach these goals. So here's what I want to look at. Now let's first look at the whole season here. And now, while this is only 2 games and a very, very small sample size, obviously, this is going to start to pile up pretty quickly as we go through these tournaments. By the end of the season, you're going to have a full, basically 35-game college schedule. So it's going to be pretty well representative of what your skills are. So here are the stats that I want you as players to try to accomplish. So here's the way I want you to look at it. If I want you guys shooting 50% effective field goal percentage as a team, well, how about we try to get you to shoot 50% effective field goal percentage as a player? So what that means is that I want you to try to either be able to shoot 50% from 2 or 33% from 3. Okay, why? Well, because 50% from 2 equates to a effective field goal percentage of 50%. Where if you want to get an effective field goal percentage of 50 just shooting threes, all you need is 33% because you multiply that by 1.5. So what you have to be able to give me is one of the two, either 50% from 2 or 33% from 3. Now, what you really can impress me with, and I think that at least 2 of you can do this, maybe 3, is to try to get me both. Try to get up to 50% from 2 and 33% from 3. So if you can do that, then you're really humming, and then you're one of the more efficient players on the team. And we always have a couple of players that can do that. From 16s, from your age group, I don't know if we've had one. Seven teams, we always have one or, a couple. I'm expecting a couple of you guys to fit that bill, but we'll see. So like, for example, this is what I would look at. See, this is a very small sample, but I would say, okay, which of you are doing doing more than 50% from two? At this point, almost all of you. But again, the sample size is so small that it's not particularly relevant. But then I'll look at three from three. Who's shooting better than 33% from three? Right now, it doesn't matter too much because the sample is small, but we'll get there. Miles, even with that one bad game, still 5 of 11 from three. Excellent. Elliott, only 1 for 6. Does that mean you can't take threes? No. I mean, it's just like one sample. From what I've seen of you guys, you could all make these things. So what do I know? Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys for the first tournament. And we're going to be going through this throughout the course of the season. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys develop. And I want to see like multiple perfect shot charts from you guys with no bad twos. And I'm telling you, if you guys can do that and take the bad shot selection thing out, of the equation, I don't see how you guys lose. I mean, honestly, but we shall see. That's going to do it. Good luck. I'll see you guys soon.